Greetings Traveler, Challenger here. Today I am playing Diablo 2 Resurrected with newly added Warlock class. Can you believe that? We only had to wait 25 years, but here it is. This will be my very first time playing this class, and usually when something new is added into the game, it is imbalanced, so I thought instead of doing some crazy build, let's see if I can beat the game using only tier 1 spells. This should be fun. Let the challenge begin. Rules. Actively using only spells that are available at level 1, using charms and sockets. Run ends with killing Bale on hell. This is solo self-found round, no shared stash used. This is also hardcore, 1 life, no deaths. I decided to do this when I saw the description of the very first spell that Warlock starts with, that is Miasma Bolt. It deals some damage on contact, but it also leaves a cloud of what is called entropy that further deals damage per second in certain radius. It also deals the best damage type in the game, that is magic. And on top of that, it has 2 synergies with Miasma Chain and the Abyss. First of all, there are very few skills in the game that deals magic damage, with Magic Arrow and Psychic Hammer and Thief available at level 1. Second, this is Area of Effect, which can be further boosted by the both synergies and dedicated passive skill further down the tree. Third, not that many monsters are resistant, let alone immune to magic, making this good at the very end. Now that I got enough points, let's get every skill that I will be using in this run. You already know Miasma Bolt. Next on the line is passive Levitation Mastery, which improves weapon damage, attack rating, gives chance for critical strike and lowers weapon requirements. This is insane for just one passive, especially that the last part, as I don't recall any skill in the game having such thing. Next is Hex Bane. It buffs a weapon to deal some magic damage with increased attack rating, but also hexes targets to lower their defense and attack rating for set amount of time. Pretty great. Last is Summon Goatman. That has a chance for Crushing Blow, melee attacker with Crushing Blow. My god! Although chance is small in the beginning, I am certain that by the end it can be boosted with some skills to the great numbers. So that 3 active skills, Miasma Bolt, Hexbane and Goatman, are the only things that I will be using. I will still be putting some points into synergies for them, but for general usage, my build is somewhat complete. Now let's see how far I can go with that. Technically there is one more level 1 skill, but realistically it requires Goatman first to be taken to have access to it. That is Demonic Mastery, that enhances summoned and bound demons, with more attack rating, attack speed, damage, run and walk speed, and allows to have more demons under your command at certain levels. With the addition of Warlock, there are Grimoires added as class-specific item, similar to Paladin's Shield and Necromancer's Heads, as well as daggers are now getting skills associated with Warlock, just like wands for Necromancer or staves for Sorceress. There are 2 more passives that I will be using that will benefit my skills. One of that I have access to now, it is Blood Oath. It increases life of demons, its resistances, reduces the physical damage taken, and some damage that I will be taking goes to demon, basically a spirit link. That said, never underestimate the power of early rune words, so of course I had to get some runes from the Countess herself. No matter who I am playing, also on the very last run I got really lucky and set hard leather armor dropped. That is a new item added, Bane's Wraith Skin, with some additional defense and magic resistance. Nice. Oh man, this is an insane early game drop. A unique mace, Crush Flange, with 33% crushing blow, massive weapon at every stage of the game to kill bosses. Well now, I leveled Miasma Bolt a bit, and although it is not dealing fire damage that Andariel is vulnerable to, I would say that this is good enough. Yeah, adequate, and for my trouble I got a set chain boots, Hasarus Iron Heel, with that sweet 20% run walk and some fire resistance. Now ghouls are with prayer, will keep me and my goatman a nice company, protecting us and healing at the same time. And then I started thinking, I am playing Warlock, but is there actually any spell in the arsenal that uses life as a resource instead of mana? And no, there is not a single one, so I guess Sacrifice still stands alone in that, and to be honest, I don't think there is a better class to get more of that than Warlock. So far the only problem really is mana. I mean, I'm having so much power with just level 1 spells is a bit crazy, and I am not sure if any class feels this powerful currently. I might of course be wrong, as there are builds like Charge Bolt Sorceress or Tiger Strike Assassin, which are totally viable. To battle that a bit, I finally got around to getting Stealth and did it in a bit a heavier base than usual, as I wanted to see how the armor looks on the new guy, and it is pretty sleek. Still mostly robes, but the pauldrons are more metallic and heavy looking. Sniped. So you know how barbarians can have 2 weapons in both hands, right? Not only that, he can have 2-handed swords in those hands, or wield 2-hander with a shield. Well, Warlock can do the same, except he can do that with every weapon, even axes and especially staves, which is insane and opens so many possibilities for new builds. Yeah, this seems fine, because balanced it is not. There is one thing that is bothering me. Warlock, much like Druid, feels like a hybrid class. He can do summoning, he can do melee, and he can be a full-on caster. Now, I don't know what is the best build. That is not what I am trying to achieve here. But tell me how it is fair where Druid gets 2 life per vitality point and Warlock gets 3. I mean, sure, Druid has Werewolf and Werebird together with Lycanthropy to boost his health pool, but not every build is using them, and this feels wrong. At least Ormus is not being a complete asshole this time around, and he is giving me something which for other classes might be a miss. But here it kind of works. 10% cast rate, some attack rating, dexterity and lots of mana. Currently I am just breezing past everything that game throws at me. Overgrown spiders in the cave? No problem. Weird looking small dudes in the dungeon? Piece of cake. Maybe skeletons with those mummies that command them? Not really, class. Everything falls as I push onward. There is no opposition. Council got melted right before my very eyes. Once I was done with them, I was free to go to Mephisto, and apparently the whole fight was so spectacular that Gulzar decided to just stare at him fiercely, not throwing a single jab in his direction. But that did not stop me from melting big horny one here. Usual is usually the moment where you can gauge the build damage is falling off a bit. This whole act is a bit of a step up in general. But that blue bastard is thick as a brick. But seeing the damage and how fast he is dying, I don't think I will have much trouble for at least some time. Oh, that is funny. You see, I told you that Warlock can wield staves or any 2-handed weapon in one hand, but if you have stats and no weapon in hand, you should auto-equip the first weapon you pick up from the ground, but it seems this is not working for 2-handers for this class. With level 24 I have access to second passive that interests me. That is Enhanced Entropy. It increases radius of the abyss and Miasma duration. So now over time damage component of the Miasma bolt can last even longer. I gotta tell you, if there is a build in the game that does damage over time, it is instantly my favorite playstyle. Somehow I just love the idea of things slowly dying, while I am safe watching them in a distance. That's why it is kind of disappointing how bad poison is in this game. But seeing how Miasma works in this case, how you can deal magic damage to packs of monsters while holding them in place with summons or even mercenary, I am just loving this. And this is hellishly powerful. Oh yeah, and that is Diablo dying. Not much was happening in this act. I did all the necessary things to get where I need to go, so I stopped the siege by killing Shank, freed the barbarians to get some runes, rescued Anya to get the scroll and received a tome from her that is not really useful to me. One more remark about Enhanced Entropy. It seems that indeed it is increasing Miasma radius, but only every 5th level of the skill, which is pretty odd as it is increasing Abyss radius by 0.2 yards every level, so why not do the same for Miasma? By the way, I did not port any of my characters to this version because I am mostly playing this for the videos anyway, so my chronicle is empty. So every time I find something like this unique spike shield that is swordback hold, it updates my grail status. If it was for the first time I found this, does the neat effect while doing the identification process. This is just sad, guys. Just do something, anything, I beg you, please! Normally I am just skipping Lister and his minions, as they are just not worth the effort of the fighting. Usually the reward is just not enough, but I wanted to see how fast I can kill them, and again Kulzar and Goatman are doing their job of keeping me alive while I am dishing out damage. Bale is the hardest boss, simply due to the fact that he can teleport, therefore majority of my damage is going to waste. But I think hardest is still an oversimplification of what is happening to him in this fight, as I just spam him to death with my bolts of, well, death. He dropped a unique chainmail, Sparking Mail. I finished normal with level 31 with most of the attributes invested in Vitality. I maxed out Miasma Bolt and I am working on synergies for it. I might also invest some points in Goatman just to make him a bit tankier. Gear-wise, Merc has nothing really. As for me, I just have some random pieces with Magic Tome I found in the beginning of the game being the best of them. Kind of insane for me if you think about it. Because I already maxed out Miasma Bolt, I need to make it viable until the end, as this might be my only mean of progressing through the game, so I am getting hard points whenever I can. I think Goatman will be used mostly as a distraction tool, and Hex Bane might not be enough without further going down the tree. After getting the scroll and getting Kane out, it is time to hit the Forbidden Tower yet again, and stay a while. To farm some runes, it would be nice to get at least Spirit Sword and Lord Helmet. But also, as a very nice surprise, I got my Merc a 4 open socket Partisan, perfect for that juicy insight. I got some runes, so I did that Lord Helmet for myself. And aside from giving +1 to skills, it has various other things that I think are usually overlooked, like damage reduction by 7, some mana after kill and 30% lightning resistance. And because I am still looking for Spirit Base, I've also done an insight for my mercenary. It will be a nice upgrade for him in a couple of levels and will nicely boost my mana and will synergize with prayer. Smith got his ass handed to him. No, not literally, but you know what I mean. And as for Andariel, there isn't much I can tell you at this point. Miasma Bolt works amazing, especially when target is standing in a cloud of death, huffing the fumes and killing herself. Again, there wasn't much happening in this act, especially that I am a bit over-leveled from all the Countess runs. So I did all the quests, from Radaman to get the point, through Maggot Lair where Miasma Bolt are just tearing through the bugs, to arrive at the Viper Temple to snatch the amulet. Arcane Sanctuary of all places might have been the best thing about it, as I found a couple of very nice things here. First was the Io rune drop from the chest, and then Summoner gave me another Shale rune and this very nice large charm. All the boss fights look really the same by now. Boys are doing the tanking, while I am just dishing out damage. Only thing that is changing is that they are getting tougher, while my might is falling off a bit. That said, Duriel dropped me a pretty nice rare belt with triple resistances, with a sprinkle of faster hit recovery. Welcome to the jungle, we've got rivers and unpassable terrain, together with spiders that curses your very name. We've got Jade Figurine, the Eye of Kalim. We are the people that get his brain too. If you get the money, honey, we'll get his heart as well. Yeah, sorry, I cannot rhyme. I'm just pretty sure that I already used these jokes once. Never mind. Quick stroll into Lower Kurest and Ruined Temple brings me a Lamessence book with that crisp 5 attribute points, and shortly after that I went to the sewers so I could get blessed with the crystal sword with 4 open sockets, and you know what that means. Of course, I'm talking about Spirit. Aside from that +2 to all skills, I rolled 29% on faster cast rate and 103 on mana. This will definitely help with spamming Miasma Bolt and further boost down enhanced entropy. Those skills are becoming very powerful, more than I imagined. Like I said in the beginning, I thought that Miasma Bolt was good on paper, but man, it wrecks. Not like this is the greatest skill ever, but I hardly have any issues with anything, as you can see. Council members are just rolling on the floor. I would love to tell you that Mephisto was an issue, but no, not really. Couple of bolts and that was the whole boss fight. Do something. Anything, you blue bastard, give me some challenge. Ah, you're worthless. Maybe you then. Yeah, you green one with the hammer. You guys are all weak. Let's break out the forge then, and normally I would be mad about the Hell rune. But this time it is actually the only one I have been missing. Only problem is that I don't have a base for what I want to do. So I just push onwards to Chaos Sanctuary, and right at the beginning I found a set of Bramble Mitts. Those are Laying of Hands, incredibly powerful gloves for all melee attackers, thanks to increased attack speed and 350% damage to demons. Now Act 4 is usually a bit harder in every difficulty, but I'm suspecting that Warlock might be a bit too good, guys. Or maybe I just discovered some overpowered build by playing the laziest way possible and not even learning a thing about the class. With that said, I got to Diablo and, much like the first time, it's not any problem. He dropped a measly set Skullcap Arcana's head. While I am still looking for body armor base, I went into the wild to do some cleanup, deal with the Overseer and his cronies, and then hit up Eldritch to see what he has in store. Actually, set Griff's drop, which are Saigon's Sabbath. In Frigid Highlands I was rescuing barbarians, and I happened to find another Io rune. Now I have 2, so it is possible to do some nice helmets for me and my mercenary. Although I don't know exactly where I want to go with him. I freed Anya for another glorious boost to my resistances, which are looking pretty good all things considered. And I also received a pretty great tome with very nice chance to block, +3 to enhanced entropy, lots of resistances, and poison length reduction. This build, considering how bare bones it is still very fun to use. I can mow down everything with ease. Also, I am not sure if it would work, but if piercing is working with Miasma Bolt, then oh man, the amount of magic damage clouds it could leave, it fills me with dread. Yeah, this seems fine. Lister and his henchmen are just folding like laundry on a summer day. With Bale, it was even funnier. I did not even realize that he cloned himself and killed the clone outright. Then he did it again. So I did the very same thing. I just don't want to go back to town so bad, and there wasn't really a reason to do. So I'm just tearing through his defenses like butter. Finishing Nightmare with level of 58, that didn't happen for a long time. Almost all of the points are in Vitality. I maxed out Miasma Bolt and Miasma Chain. Almost have all the points in the Abyss too, so I might want to get some more into Goatman soon. Merc has the Insight with Rare Helmet and Body Armor. As for me, I would love to get some upgrades, especially to Amulet and Shield. Otherwise I have Spirit, Stealth and lower Rune Words. Nothing fancy. Beginning of Hell, my resistances are not looking great. Not like I am getting hit or something, but my defenses as well as my mercenary does not look good. But hey, I was bitching about this not being challenging enough, so I guess this is a place. While I was on my way to get Kane out of his shackles, a unique cleaver dropped. That is Butcher's Pupil. Great weapon that is sporting incredible attack speed, chances for both deadly strike and open wounds, and it is indestructible. Now I have an abundance of gold. I literally did not have to buy a single thing for the entire game. So now I think it is a good time to do some gambling, and for that I did an edge bow to reduce vendor prices. I was looking to improve my boots, gloves and amulet, and got very mixed results. Probably the best thing I found was this amulet, although not useful for me, with +3 to cold skills and 10% faster cast rate. Just as I was entering monastery, another great drop happened, this time for barbarians out there. Unique Slayer Guard Ariad's Face. That is one amazing piece of gear. It has everything that you want, +2 skills, faster hit recovery, bonus attack rating, resistances, strength, dexterity and even life leech. Holy shit, what is with the drops today. I entered level 3 of Catacombs and opened the very first chest and got Gall Rune, and I am pretty sure that there is a new rune word that can make use of that. All those drops were really keeping me from getting to Andariel faster, but since I am here, might as well introduce the Spider Queen to some good old fashioned ass kicking, but using magic and goatman. I'm still using that book I found in normal Tristram all the way to here, but I have this codex with +2 to Miasma Bolt, so I decided to use Larzuk quest to get 2 open sockets into it, and do the new rune word Vigilance. Dol Gol. This is not the greatest option ever, but it is fun. Faster run walk and block rate, some life, mana, maximum poison resistance, and lots of all resistances. But the coolest part is the 5% chance to cast level 10 Ring of Fire when struck. In my current configuration, it will be mostly used for the knockback. Now another new rune word, since I finally got enough strength to use the only base I found with 3 open sockets. Hell Shale Ral. Authority. It's a Warlock oriented body armor that has 10% chance to cast level 15 Miasma Chain on striking, has +2 Warlock skills, faster hit recovery, enhanced damage and fire resistance, but 2% chance to cast level 10 Psychic Ward when struck might be the best, and it is very reminds me of a Treachery with a Fate proc. With all the upgrade, I paid a visit to Radament to get another skill point. Then went to Maggot Lair, where I happened to find a set circlet that is Naj's circlet. Pretty unremarkable piece aside from that 15 to strength. Completing the place yields me, of course, Staff of Kings. Guardians here in Claw Viper Temple are first real problematic monsters. Sure, you can encounter zombies in the Lost City that are magic immune, but they can be easily outmaneuvered. But these guys resurrect skeletons, meaning that they are constant threat. Seriously, how many great drops I can get in one run? I don't even have that much magic find. Again, unique battle sword, Head Striker. This one could be very fun if I was playing a melee build, with that massive deadly strike bonus. It is really incredible how fast bosses are dying with those Miasma clouds. The amount of damage they are taking from it just standing still is astounding. Got my Jade figurine, then the eye, and while I was traversing the Flayer's dungeon, I managed to find a great charm, which turned out to be a skiller for Javelin and Spear skills for Amazon with some cold damage on it. Why the summons do not hurt that much from those explosions? Every time I am playing some wacky stuff, I would let them handle them, and I am either helping from afar or just staying out of it entirely, as they can just take all the punishment. Well, I got to Travancore, mowed down the council to get the flay, and realized that while I was in Kurast Bazaar, I only visited Ruined Temple for the book, but never went down to sewers for the heart, so I had to rectify my mistake and do some backtracking. My merc does need better gear, that is for sure, but I don't have much to offer him. Fortunately, I found a Lamb rune Endurance of Hate, so once I get some armor base, I could create a smoke. Mephisto is the first time I feel my damage is a bit lacking. It is really apparent that usage of those two synergy spells, Miasma Chain and Abyss, is missing. Nevertheless, battle is over and he dropped me a unique brandy stock, Blood Thief. Normal level weapon. But I must say, the levitation makes those weapons look huge and look so cool. Oh, this is interesting. I found this rare Chris, and since daggers are now Warlock weapon class, they are having some skills as well for Warlock. But as you can see, they can still roll bonuses to Necromancer skills, just like before, but also Warlock level spells? Man, another nice rune. A Mal rune dropped just at the gate to Plains of Despair. So while I'm here, it won't hurt to kill Isual. I mean, it will hurt him, but I will get 2 skill points, so I guess everybody wins. My gear is pretty basic at this stage of the game, and yet magic damage is so strong that there are no mandatory enemies that can really stop me. Also, I am just using one skill since the beginning of the game. I don't think this is really fair. Diablo was somehow easier than his brother Mephisto. I really don't know how to feel about this anymore. I am having a lot of fun, but I was thinking this run would be much harder. With all the time and experience of the players enjoying the game, developing a new class must have been a daunting task, and I must say, although I am playing this class with a fraction of the spells, I am having a blast, and this, let's say, build, although it is not really a real one, can clear the entire game without much issues. I am not using majority of the stuff I should, as at least 2 damaging spells could be added and Lethargy Seal for another layer of crowd control and increased damage, as well as Psychic Ward for protection, although Authority Rune Ward covers that one. But he also has Blade Warp in his arsenal, which functions as a pseudo-teleport. He simply has it all. There is also Bind Demon and Consume that I'm pretty sure can provide additional bonus for magic damage dealers, or at least another ability to get focus off me and make sure that my demons are out in front protecting me. That said, if I had this easy time clearing the game with basic skill and I was able to conclude just by reading the description that it might be too strong, well, I think the class needs to be revised a bit, and not really in terms of design, but numbers themselves. Although I am not the one to min-max and push the abilities to the limit, I still had 0 to none issues completing the game with limited knowledge. Nevertheless, it was immensely fun to play, mostly because it is something new, but as I mentioned previously, damage over time builds are my favorite to play. They made kiting and run and hit strategies possible, allowing for very fun interactions. I finished Hell with level 77, with 90% of my attribute points spent into Vitality. I maxed out every Miasma Bolt synergy, together with Enhanced Entropy, 1 point here and there, and for Summon Goatman I started investing by the end, as it was immensely useful, much like Golem for Necromancers. Gear-wise, I did not find anything better for my Merc, so he only has insight from notable equipment. Me, however, I had a lot of luck in terms of the drops, even rare ones. But the highlight is for sure Authority Body Armor and Vigilance Shield, both very fun pieces. Next, I will try Summoner Demonologist, as it was a result from my Pulse channel. Also, do let me know if you prefer this style of summary for last act. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for more games and gaming videos. Like it if you liked it and subscribe for more, as there will be plenty content to come. Challenger departs.